Guys, I want to start off this video by saying that no one, absolutely no one, should be proud of getting into any university based off of their race. No one should be proud of that. It is not a badge of honor. I believe I've actually told you guys before that I would never accept a job that was offered to me if I actually knew I got the job because of my skin color, because the company was trying to reach some type of a racial quota. I wouldn't accept it. I want a job based off of my merits, my qualifications, not my skin color. Now, you guys already know that I worked in the oil and gas industry for many years. And not one job I actually got was because of my skin color. They looked at my credentials. Now, when I first got into oil and gas, it was actually my personality. I actually got my first oil and gas job by mistake, really. You know, I was just in the right place at the right time. I was working at this place. And this lady, she liked my personality. She liked my professionalism. She was actually a white lady, by the way. Race never came into play. And she said, you know what, my husband, he's actually a director at an oil and gas company. Send me your resume. And I did it. I applied for the job, interviewed with people. It took me like 2 months to get this job. That was my entry into oil and gas, had nothing to do with my race. When I went to college, I went to a majority white college. It wasn't Harvard or anything like that. It wasn't. I didn't have the book smarts to actually go to Harvard. And there's no shame in that. Because it seems like some of the people at Harvard, they come out, I guess more dumb and stupid than when they went in. They're book smarts, but apparently, these people are super woke. In high school, I was in the band. And right there in Lake Charles, the college band director, he would come there every year and recruit people from our school to actually go to the band over there. And the high school I went to was majority black. The band over there in Lake Charles was majority white. I ended up going to the university, marched the band, and not one single person ever said that you are here because of your race. Never happened. We're talking about the mid-1990s, okay? Never happened. But that actually brings us to Joy Reid here, because Joy Reid actually went to Harvard. Now, I was kind of shocked. I didn't know that she was actually a Harvard grad at all. But Joy Reid now is playing the race card. But of course, you guys know Joy Reid is a race hustler. So this should not be a surprise. Look here, guys. This is on the Daily Caller here. Joy Reid. I got into Harvard because of affirmative action. Surprising no one. I mean, Joy Reid, man, you know what? The way Joy Reid is, as dumb as Joy Reid is, maybe she actually did benefit from affirmative action. And this is even more of a reason why it needed to be abolished. Joy Reid playing the race card here. And we got a clip. We got a clip here. Joy Reid actually going on this tirade here. And she was pretty much painting the students in her classes, the white ones, as racist. Look at this, guys. Let's go ahead and play this clip here of Joy Reid. Let's roll it.
Well, let me just be clear. I got into Harvard only because of affirmative action. I went to a school no one had ever heard of in Denver, Colorado, in a small suburb. I didn't go to Exeter or Andover. Yeah, I didn't have college test prep. I just happened to be really nerdy and smart and have really good grades and good SAT scores. Right. But someone came to Denver, Colorado to look for me.
Wait a minute. She already said that she was smart and she had very good SAT scores. And she's actually bragging about going to Harvard on affirmative action. And you know what? She's proud of it. This is nothing to be proud of. I don't know the academics of Joy Reid in school, but if I know I'm smart and I know I got the grades, and maybe she did, I'm going to say, hey, I put in the work in high school and I got to go to one of the most prestigious colleges in America. No. Now she's saying that she got strictly in because of affirmative action, and she's proud of it. Nothing to be proud of.
Harvard recruiter flew to Denver, and I met up with her at the Village Inn restaurant and did a pre-interview to get to pull me into Harvard. I was pulled in, and the schools like Harvard and Yale that I got into affirmatively.
Yes.
And it was literally not saying we're going to take an unqualified person and put them in Harvard. Yes. We're going to take a very qualified person who we would never know existed and put them in Harvard. That's how I got there. That's how Ketanji got there. That's how Justice Jackson, I should say. Justice Jackson got there. It's how Clarence Thomas got there. Right. But the minute I arrived from my majority black little town, Montbello in Denver, to Harvard, the first week or two that I was in class, my presence was questioned by white people. I was in this big conference class where some white students stood up and said, those students, the black students, they're only here because of affirmative action. It became.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for one single second. I don't believe that. I believe this is Joy Reid actually race baiting. The white kids getting up and saying, hey, you're only here because of affirmative action. I'm not buying that. I'm just going to admit it. I do not believe Joy Reid here. Now, Joy Reid is a little bit older than me. She's probably like 9 years older than me or something like that. But I gave you my experience. When I went to school, and like I said, it wasn't Harvard. I went to the band. I was welcomed with open arms by everybody. Everybody. Mostly white. So I believe that she is full of shit when she's actually talking about this. She's trying to play the victim here. And of course, we know that Joy Reid is pretty racist.
Became a huge argument that we all ended up having. This was freshman year. I had never had my academic credentials questioned. I had never had anyone question whether I was intelligent until I got to Harvard. And it was a defining point of my experience there. It's why I really was one of the many reasons I was miserable there my freshman year. Yeah. You feel completely out of place and people keep telling you shouldn't be here. And yet, some of the people I went to school with were far less smart than me or the other black folk there. They got in because their daddy and their granddaddy. I went to school with somebody whose name was on one of the buildings.
Now, she's actually talking about legacy admittance. And I'm not a fan of legacy admittance, but it does happen. But that has nothing to actually do with affirmative action. It has pretty much, I guess, the families of these students, they probably donated a bunch of money to the school. I don't like that at all. But that wasn't actually affirmative action right there.
You're going to school with people whose names are on the buildings, who are third and fourth generation legacies, whose parents pumped money into Harvard to get them in. But that affirmative action is okay with this majority.
That's not affirmative action right there. That's not. Affirmative action is race-based right there. What you're talking about right there is actually legacy-based. That's different. Okay? I'm not a fan of either one of those, to tell you the truth.
They said that the people who benefited from slavery, their descendants, who are so far ahead of black folk in terms of opportunity that we'll never catch up to them. I don't care how many Oprahs we get. Those people's affirmative action is A-OK because those people can pay for fancy trips for them. Yeah. But you people who want to get in just because of your brains, but you're not from a legacy, too bad. You can't come in.
Wow. So there you have it there with Joy Reid, guys. Amazing. And you know what, man? It is black people like a Joy Reid that keep black people down. Because you notice the black people that are actually always crying victim are actually some of the most successful black people. You notice that, right? The Obamas, Joy Reid, all of these race hustlers, Jamel Hill, they have all made it. And now Joy Reid wants to say that, hey, you black folks can't actually make it without AA, affirmative action. You can't make it. I don't believe that at all. I know quite a few very, very successful black people. When I was in high school, they made it. Why? Because they put in the work. They put in the work. Had nothing to do with their skin color. Some of them are actually judges that I went to high school with. Black. They put in the work. They didn't get a handout because of their skin color. And it really, really sickens me, guys. This is why the biggest threat to black people, guys, not the white man. It is other black people like Joy Reid. You know what, guys? There's going to be some little black kid, probably in high school, that is very, very good academically. They're going to listen to Joy Reid and say, man, I'm listening to her and I can't make it now because affirmative action is gone. Why should I even put in the work now? That's what they're probably going to be thinking. No. Parents, if you listen to this, tell your kids you can achieve anything in this country if you put your mind to it. Work hard. You want to know how you can actually compete to get into these schools? Parents got to sit their kids down when they come home from school. Hit the books. Hit the books. It's just that simple. Don't go outside and play. Don't go outside and play. I wish I can actually tell that to my 13-year-old self. I wasn't a dummy in school, but I got by. I was more concerned about music and stuff like that, than the other stuff. Whereas some other friends, they really, really put in the work, and guess what? They did quite well in school. They graduated higher than me. They went to really good schools. I mean, I went to a good school. I wasn't dumb. But I wish I can actually go back to my 13-year-old self and say, hey, when you get home, hit the books. I didn't really do that. And it wasn't like, I wasn't like a D student or anything like that. I was like, mostly like B's. But I wasn't a straight A student. I wasn't like that. But also I wasn't a victim either. I never believed for 1 second that I got into the university I went to because of my skin color. Never believed that at all. Joy Reid is pretty pathetic. She is. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.